Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing? Y'all know me. This is Big Al, and I'm the moderator and owner of the podcast. Let me say something. And I'm right now. I am broadcasting from my car because I want to. Guys, it's been a pretty exciting week politically, and I just wanted a couple things I wanted to end the week with today. Well, I should say begin the week. This is Sunday, depending on how you look at it, end or begin. But we're going to talk about the Demoncrats. I'm sorry, the Democrats. I call them Demoncrats. They're imploding. They're imploding. They don't know what to do with Trump. They don't know what to make of Trump. Now, keep in mind now, the last 8 years, their strategy was, there was no strategy. They didn't tell you what their plan was. Their plan was, hey, we're not Trump. Vote for us. And then they would go around scaring everybody, particularly black people, as far as Trump was racist, xenophobic, didn't care about Americans, was going to take away your Medicare, all that. They said all those things that weren't true, and a lot of soft-minded people believed it. In other words, if you say it, their strategy was, if you say it enough, someone will believe it. Someone will believe it. You remember back when Trump said, listen, I'm gonna close the borders, I'm gonna close the western borders because the China virus is coming from China, and once it gets over here, he said we won't be able to stop it, so he closed down the borders. Nancy Pelosi said, there is no virus. What are you talking about? There's no virus. You're xenophobic. I can't believe. And they took a court order, and which forced him to remove that executive order, which is crazy because I can't see how a court can stop an executive order. But anyway, that has to be explained to me. But ever since then, and then of course, she said she never said it, even though she's on camera saying it. Two things. One, they're assuming that the American people are stupid, which we have been for a long time. But now things are coming out saying, hey, guess what? This guy wasn't lying. This guy's right. In particular, January 6th, the insurrection. Well, now Patel, the director of the FBI, has information and photos and video of the police letting the people walk in. Remember what they said? The media said they broke in. They didn't break in. It's like I was telling you on my podcast back then. They opened up the doors. But they won't show you that. They cut all that stuff out. They opened up the doors. They stood around, the police did, and let them walk in. The police weren't protecting anyone. Why? Because they were trying to set Trump up. They were trying to say that he caused the insurrection, which he did not. Because he even said, hey, do not be violent. We're Americans. That's not what we do. I sat there and heard him say that the first time. But when they played back the video, I didn't see it. When he was in North Carolina, he said, you're talking about the Nazis and all those guys. He said, listen, there are good people on good sides. There are good people on both sides. And then they creamed him for that, but they didn't play the whole thing, which was, I'm not talking about the Nazis and the Wild Boys, whoever they are. I'm not talking about them, but they cut that part out, folks. The Democrats don't know what to do now because they have no plan. They have no plan because they're trying to convince you that Trump is bad. People say, well, wait a minute. He has some odd views and he talks funny. He's not the most articulate guy. He certainly he's certainly not a smooth floor like Obama. But now they're catching on. I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth. Trump hasn't lied about anything. I'm going to say it again just so y'all can understand. He has not lied about anything. This is a man that says exactly what's on his mind. When you're an alpha and sigma male, you do that, and people that are not alphas or sigmas, they don't understand it because they're wrapped into their emotions. They want to believe the negative. They want to believe. They hold on to it so long they want to believe it. Now it's coming to find out it's not true. January 6th wasn't true. Wasn't true. In New York, where he's being sued. Where he was being sued by, what's her name, Letitia James, I believe. She devalued his residence by $100 million so that he wouldn't be able to pay the $500 million that was going to be due. They found out that she was wrong about that. They tried to convict him of a crime where there was no crime. The bank said, I don't know. Bank said we'll lend money to him again because he always pays it back early. There was no crime. There was no crime. Now all of us, she said that what happened was he overvalued his real estate in order to get a better price. And guess who else did that? Yep, New York AG Letitia James. The Democrats are getting so bad and so desperate that they're letting a fool speak for them. Her name is Representative Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, black woman who's trying to be all ratchet and ghetto now. Stop being Putin's hoe. This is a woman whose parents have a lot of money, and they put their black child through a private school, which costs $35,000 a year, and then they put her through I forgot the name of the college. I've got the name of the college, but college that costs $55,000 a year. It's an exclusive college and exclusive high school, exclusive school. I don't know about middle school, but I know, I'm not sure she went through middle school, but I know high school it was exclusive. She has a tremendous education and background. Tremendous. And she's going around talking like a fool. I mean, embarrassing black females everywhere because she won't articulate, Putin's hoe. Tell him to stop that bullshit. Like, what kind of what? Even if I were a Democrat, I wouldn't want her representing me. So the Democrats are now, and then they're doing this thing with the anime thing, how this anime, if for those of us that like anime or that play those games, your fighters like this, the old time anyway, they were like, fighters like, fight. So that's what they're doing now. Now they're like, they're something they're gonna fight. These women, coming out, fight. I've never seen something so stupid in my life. And what are you fighting against? What are you fighting against? What are you fighting against? Listen, they're fighting against Doge, Elon, the president. Once again, I'm going to say it again. This is a separate audit. The government cannot audit itself. They don't do a good job of that. So they got a third party, in this case, Elon Musk and his people who are brilliant to do this. Why? Because if he had gotten anybody else to do it, they would have lied. They would have lied. They would have lied. So they are still unconcerned. They're panicking because, and this is why they fought so hard against Trump, because they knew Trump was going to tell them, you can't buy Trump. He cannot be bought. He cannot be bought. Even the mafia in New York when I was there, and even now they say the same thing. We couldn't buy him. We couldn't do nothing. We offered him, money, no. Women, no. Vacations, no. Property, no. He said we had nothing on him, and plus on top of that, he wasn't afraid of us. That's what the mafia said. I mean, this is what the mafia said about the man. He said, we got nothing. He said, we got nothing. We could not buy this guy. He was, and this is the word they use, not me, he was incorruptible. And a guy said this on a Joe Rogan podcast. They said he was incorruptible. He said, we tried everything, but we wanted those properties. We wanted a piece of it. He said, but we couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Could not get it. So listen, so So they're doing, they're to the point where they're acting up during his speech and getting censored and kicked out. They're not clapping for a child that had brain cancer and that is fighting for his life. And that was the sweetest thing I've ever saw. When he hugged the director of the Secret Service, man, I almost cried, and I never cry. But that brought me to my knees. I was like, wow, that's just. And they were sitting over there. About 6 of them stood up and clapped, but the rest of them were like, you know. And before that happened was Jasmine Crockett was telling everybody, don't tune in. Don't tune in. In other words, don't listen to what the president says. Don't do it. How can you tell someone not to listen to the president? How can you tell someone not to listen to the president when it directly affects you? Irresponsible, silly, stupid, all those things. All those things. But nonetheless, they come through and they do that silly stuff because they think you're stupid. They think you're stupid. And in the past, you all have been. A lot of us have been stupid. But when you try to find out and listen carefully and see what Trump is doing, etc., you see that he's promises made, promises kept. He's trying to save America, man, because we're in bad shape. They're talking about tariffs. Tariffs are a good thing in most cases if used responsibly, which he's doing. Now, guess what? Canada is not being responsible. They're saying, "Well, I know we overtax you guys in America, but we're gonna raise that tariff, and get back at you." Well, they don't have enough skin in the game to do that. Because you got to bring ass to get ass. They don't have enough ass. Sorry, but guess what? Now, this is what's going to happen. This is what has happened, and this is pretty cool. China has decided to increase their tariffs on Canadian products 100%. 100%. And China is the second biggest exporter to Canada next to the United States. So basically, Canada is screwed. Now you have to watch this guy, the Prime Minister. He's going to back down. Woo! He's going to back up like a Michael Jackson moonwalk. I'm telling you, he's got to. He tried to show strength. He showed stupidity. I don't even know how this guy got in office, man. I might run for office. Because stupid people are getting in this office, etc. Stupid people. I don't know how these people are getting in office. Anyway, but nonetheless, the tariffs are going to be a positive thing for the United States. They really will be. Okay, you heard it here. A lot of the countries are going to acquiesce by us pulling out of Ukraine, and with the money. Now Ukraine has to depend on Europe to finance them, and that's what Europe was supposed to be doing. But they weren't really doing that because we were doing it. I mean, they were contributing a little bit, but it's like, listen, man, we're all the way across the water. Why are we paying the lion's share of this war? You guys are there. And that's what Trump is saying. You're not paying your lion's share. You're not paying your full amount. You're not paying your fair share. It's all about equity. And another thing that you need to know too with the media is that the American media and the European media too keeps telling you that Putin started this war. He did not. The way they tell it, he woke up one morning and decided to invade Ukraine. That's not the case. Ukraine broke their word. Ukraine is kind of trying to cut off their airspace. Ukraine wants to join NATO, which they agreed to not to do that. NATO has said, hey, we're not going to go farther west. We're not going to. Said they're not going to go up to the. They're not going to. This is 30 years ago. We're not going to go any further west and get to your borders, Russia. Don't worry about it. And then they broke their word. NATO broke their word. I mean, America helped now. That's 30 years ago. America helped with that too. I want to say that was I think that was Clinton. But Putin did not start the war. And Putin's trying to make it clear, I can end this war, but I didn't start the war. So the bottom line, folks, is that the Democrats are going crazy. They don't know what to do, what to say. They don't know how to stop it. They don't know how to stop the Trump train. You know, and besides that, Trump's doing some really positive things. It's not like he's doing stupid things. He's doing really positive things. A lot of people like it. And he's getting even more people on board than he did when he ran for office the second time. I'm talking to black people every day like, man, I was wrong about Trump. Man, I was wrong about Trump. Yeah, you were. I tried to tell you. You know, but I tried to tell you. But listen, he's doing a great job. You guys are being deceived by the media. Be aware of that. You're being deceived by the media. Okay? You have the Democrats that don't give a damn about a 13-year-old kid with cancer, man. That's your party. They don't give a damn that a police officer was shot and killed by an illegal immigrant. They don't give a damn about billions of dollars going out of the United States for no reason. You know, and then in the United States, they're finding out that one nonprofit got $17 billion, and this guy's wife. No, this guy was part of Biden's transitional team, and his wife had a nonprofit, opened up a nonprofit. Now, what's happening too is a lot of them open up nonprofits just as they get approved, just as the money gets approved. When they know the money will get approved, all of a sudden a nonprofit opens, okay, and somehow they're linked to somebody in Congress. Can't do that, brother. That's treason. You can't. Well, that's not treason. I'm sorry. You know, that's dishonest. But listen, I'm going to keep you informed. You keep listening here, okay? This is Big Al signing off. Y'all take care now. Bye.